What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. You too old to be in the gang, man. So, ironically, I saw a video and Charleston White was talking about people gang banging, and then I saw a thing with Dirk's brother, and then people were making comments about him and whatnot. And then I saw another video where these young guys were I want to say Crips, but they was in Vegas in a car, just fingering all on the internet. It's like looking for attention. And I talked about this in a previous video. I don't know how long ago, where a lot of guys who are in these streets now are people who are too old to be gangbanging, and people don't understand sometimes what I'm saying is basically you got guys who didn't get good grades, um, who came from good families or families where they knew better, uh, and that's the route they chose. You got guys who weren't good at athletics or the arts, you know, and you got all of these people. You put them together are people who are scared to be adults, so they're in a gang. Now this extends. You think, okay, you talking about kids, high school age kids, middle school, high school. But, 22, 23 is when you would normally graduate college, right? You got people who are that above 23 still in gangs. And I know people still in gangs to this day, you know. But it's stupid. So what winds up happening is you got people who just got a lot of time on their hands and they're doing absolutely nothing with their life. That's all that is. Once you get yourself to a point where you can't function in society because the gang is more important, and the crazy part about the gang is gangs have rivalries, just like you know a Pop Warner team or a high school team. You have your adversary, your crosstown rival that you're supposed to dislike for whatever reason. It goes back eons, right? But a lot of times what winds up happening is whatever the old reason why the rivalry began is really a personal vendetta with somebody in one gang and somebody in another gang. Sometimes people join a gang because they got beef with another particular person. So the gang is their excuse to actually do whatever they're doing. And one of the things that Charleston White was talking about, what do gangs do for the community? I mean, gangs don't protect the community, like as which they were intended to do. Gangs don't feed the community. Gangs don't keep the underworld from messing with the people who are just regular people. A lot of times, I can talk about the gangs in our community specifically. They became the biggest sellouts in the community. They working for everybody except their own people, and working against their own people for other people. So now it's like you got dumb people with a lot of time on their hands and a few older people who, if they didn't go to prison and they got some common sense, then they go, you know what, this is not right. Like, we doing something wrong. And then what the young guys in the gang don't know is if you're a stand-up dude, even if two people are in a rival gang, they'll be cool. Now you can get two chiefs of completely different sides. Like, man, I rock with him. We gonna, we're not gonna do nothing because I can respect that guy. But the gangs, for some odd reason, in their little personal beef, you smashed my girlfriend. You wanted to be disrespectful and come on my block type things. You were on the internet. And it's the other thing about y'all too old to be in gangs. You're not carrying yourselves like men or young men anyways, because you're carrying yourselves like little high school girls. Because I can't figure out how social media gets you in so much trouble. You're on the phone on people's pages, watching everybody, be disrespectful for whatever reason. Like these young cats, y'all ain't got nothing to do. What we gonna do? We gonna get in the car. We gonna smoke. We gonna get on live, and we gonna drive around somebody's hood, and we gonna do this all in the camera. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. What you gonna do? Like what? I mean, I feel like I'm in grade school watching, hit my hand if you bad. Like it's like, oh, whatever, man. So you too old to be in gangs. Too old. You got guys, back in the day, you were lame if you wound up joining a gang after like 18, 19, 20. When you were supposed to be grown, like, what are you doing? Why are you joining the gang, bro? Like, but now you got people in their 20s, mid-20s, and early 30s. I'm gonna join the gang. What? Bro, if you don't get choked. Some of y'all joining gangs because you think because you want to be rappers. So it makes you, it gives me street credibility. No, it don't. So let me get this right. You're going to join a gang to say you did some dirt or you know somebody who did some dirt. So you want to snitch on the track is what you're trying to say. You too old to not know that's stupid. That's stupid. Then, people go, well, and I was never in a gang, but I grew up in this city, you know what I'm saying? Well, it's one of the cities I grew up in, so there's a lot of gang activity. But, it was a thing about, like, you don't belong in this, bro. Like, you don't. Like, and as far as, when people talk about black on black crime, that's pretty much what the gangs do. Like, I see a black dude who look like me, representing a different set that's not mine. So this not about getting money. This just about hunting people that look like me for whatever reason. And like I said, a lot of this is personal vendettas. Things you could have just handled, face to face, hand to hand. And that's another thing. You too old to be in the gang because a lot of times it's a lot of suckers, man. It's a lot of suckers who you need to jump somebody or shoot somebody because you scared. That's basically what you scared. You don't want to say you scared, so you want to act hard or get a group of people to act hard for you. I never understood when people will walk up to you, deep, 5, 10, 15, 20 people, and now they want to look hard. But when you saw them face to face, they was, you too old for that. You too old for that. Some of y'all going places looking for beef because, you feel powerless in your life. And that's a whole other thing about it. Like, you too old for games because you don't have a plan for your life. This is basically the reason why you're in a gang because you can't see yourself doing anything with your life. And it's just, this is how we're going to get around and waste time. And some of y'all, to be perfectly honest, I got to say it, some of y'all in gangs because, I don't know if it's still this way, but because gangs have like hood rat chicks in them and it's kind of easy sex. And you can't really get a girl, so y'all doing it because that's the closest thing that you could get some sex from somebody. That whole culture. And some of the finest women in the city used to be, in the visiting room of the jails because somehow, how you talking to this guy? It's like gangs, drugs, streets. It's stupid. But that's just my thoughts, man. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Y'all too old for that, man. Peace.